Hi kids! How are you today? I hope you are doing great. Welcome to another day of learning opportunity. This is Teacher Rico Epistola, or simply call me Teacher Riggs. And today, we're going to discuss the wise use of family resources. At the end of the video lesson, you will be able to prepare feasible and practical budget, manage family resources efficiently, and prioritize needs over wants. Before we start our lesson, let us play a game. Do you know the game Four Pigs in a Word? Yes, we will play Four Pigs in a Word. And you are only given 30 seconds to answer this. Time is up! Let me see your answers. And the correct answer is family budget. Who get the correct answer? Very good. What is budgeting? Budgeting is related to the wise use of family resources. It is based on the system by which wages or salaries are received and how these are to be spent by itemizing the needs of the family and how much money is needed to meet such needs. Why does creating a budget matter? As financial planners, we know better than anyone the importance of a budget. Having a budget in place is important because it allows you to have a better understanding of how much money you have, what your expenses are, and how you'll be able to afford things in the future. A good budget will take into account a few basic elements. Without considering these elements, your budget may be incomplete. So what are the basic elements of a good budget? First is income. The most basic element of all budget is income. You should keep track of how much you make and from which sources, and make a note of both pre- and post-tax income. Second, fixed expenses are those expenses over which you have little control or are unchangeable. For example, your mortgage is a fixed expense, while your Netflix account is not. Third is flexible expenses. Refer to things that you want to spend money on but don't necessarily need. Entertainment is an example of flexible expense, as is going out to dinner, buying new clothes, or buying concert tickets. And the last one is the unplanned expenses and savings. Your budget should also consider two critical pieces: unplanned expenses or the emergency expenses, and savings. These should be two separate accounts. Savings shouldn't be deep into if you can help it, even for emergencies. By creating a budget, you can work towards a more solid and comfortable financial future. So here is a sample of monthly budget with an income of 22,500. are the factors affecting family budget? The following are some factors that can affect a personal or family budget. One is the amount of income. The higher the income of the family, the greater the amount that the family members can spend for their needs and wants. But the greater the income, the more savings the family can have for the future. On the other hand, the smaller the income of a family, the more it needs to spend for what is most important and immediate needs. Food, shelter, clothing, education, and utilities are some of the immediate needs of most families today. Second, size and consumption of the family. The more members are there, the bigger amount of income will be spent for food, schooling, and other basic needs. Also, when members are still young, the more expenses are needed for their food, health and medical expenses, and other basic needs. Third, needs and wants of the family. Needs are materials which the family members need to survive on a day-to-day basis. Food, shelter, and clothing are basic needs. Wants, on the other hand, are materials that the family members desire to have. Example, cell phone and new shoes. Importance of family budget. 1. A family budget is a statement which shows how family income is spent on various items of expenditure on necessities, comforts, and luxuries. 2. It is easy to assume that you will be able to afford all the luxuries in life as long as you have savings in the bank. And third, through budgeting, family members learn to spend money wisely, thus saving money which could be used for other family needs. 4 easy steps to create a family budget. 1. Create a list of the monthly income of the family including all earning members. 2. At the beginning of a month, create a list of the planned expenses. At the end of the month, find out the actual expenses. This shows you how much more you have spent than planned. Try to reduce the difference. Number 3. Always set aside a fixed amount of money as savings for emergencies. Ideally, at any point, you should have savings equivalent to 6 months of your salary for untimely emergencies. 4. Develop this as a habit and follow it in a disciplined manner. Operational definitions of resources. Family resources means that can be used by the family to cope with difficult situations include the following resources. Social resources, strong social support network which may include spouse, children, parents, siblings, neighbors, co-workers, and others. Cultural resources, cultural values which can influence an individual or family's ability to care for the sick and cope with stress. Educational resources, level of formal education attained by an individual which allows him to understand the patient's condition and give him appropriate care. Religious resources, spiritual beliefs, practices, and support services. Economic resources, family's income and savings. Medical resources, accessibility to medical facilities and adequacy of help from healthcare providers. What are the types of family resources? 1. Human resources. Every able-bodied member of the family is considered an important human resource. These include their time, effort, skills, capability, energy, and strength, and expertise is considered part of the family's human resource. Second, Material resource. Tangible assets such as house and lot, furniture and appliances, jewelry, automobiles, and cash are referred to as family's material resources. Third, non-material resources. Time, health, and experience are intangible resources but are also important. Without non-material resources, family members will be unable to perform their duties and responsibilities at home, in school, and at work. Let us now get to know the family resource management concepts. 1. Family resource management is a subject that applies to all areas of life and all life stages. 2. Families are the most important economic units in society. 3. A human resource causes a need to manage other resources. 4. Resource management can help strengthen relationships. And 5. Family will always need resource management to survive. What are the characteristics of resources? 1. All resources are useful and all help to achieve goals. One cannot call energy or time as a resource if it is wasted or not used. All resources are limited. All resources are interrelated. Resources can be substituted. And lastly, all resources need to be managed. How to manage family resources efficiently? The following are some important tips on how to manage one's family resources efficiently. 1. Inform all the members of the family about the budget. 2. Make adjustments to your budget as necessary. Keep within the amount allocated for budget items. 3. Choose a simple lifestyle that you can sustain with your earnings. 4. Buy only things that are needed. 5. Schedule your expenses. 6. Follow a shopping and marketing schedule. 7. Avoid making unplanned purchases, especially at a store you are not familiar with. 8. Teach the children to spend their allowance wisely. 9. Conserve energy and utilities. 10. Recycle or reuse materials. 11. Repair appliances and furniture as needed. 12. Take good care of your belongings. 13. Buy products that are of good quality and reasonable price. And lastly, develop the habit of walking short distances. Do you have any questions? If none, let us proceed with the activity. Reminder, read directions carefully.